Okay, another edition of our 100 Hours, 100 Stars. 100 stars from various walks of life over the next 100 hours. And this is all for our larger initiative, which is Fever FM, Nasha, Radio 1, under the Hindustan Times umbrella of donating to the PM Cares Fund. You'll see a QR code on this video or a link. All you need to do is scan that QR code or click on that link and then proceed to contribute. You fix your amount, feed in your payment details, and contribute. Please, this is for our medical workers, practitioners who are helping us on the front line, the COVID-19 warriors that we talk about. One of my favorite people who is, logged in right now, not just because of his high intellect, but also his great entertainment value. Love Rahul Bose. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Rishi, how are you doing?
I know, there are two sides to Rahul Bose. I mean, one is the camera comes on and then he can be whatever you want him to be. And then there's him behind the camera as a director. And then there is you at home. And whenever I met you personally, I found a certain amount of stillness in you. Some of us have a little, some of us have a lot more. So no disrespect to what's happening outside, these are very trying times, but I think you would have taken to the lockdown pretty easily.
You know me really well. Yeah, because, ordinarily on any ordinary day prior to COVID-19, I would get up in the morning, I would go to the Bombay Gymkhana ground, I would train for about 2.5 hours alone, very methodically. I have a shower, have an omelette, a pomegranate juice alone, drive back. Then I would go to my foundation, both the foundations, and work with the team, which I'm doing virtually. And, and then come the evening, it would be time for the cinema part of the life, which is I'm writing a script, so that I would do alone. So social distancing or physical distancing is not a problem at all. You know me only too well. What I really do miss is having the sun on my back, Rishi. I love the sun. I train at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the sun, in this weather. It's never bothered me. I really miss having the sun on my back because for the last 50 days, I haven't even left my building, not the compound. I haven't even left the building. So the building has cars parked below and that's it. I haven't even stepped out into the compound because I just don't want to, I don't want people to get worried. If the other people want to break rules, that's fine. But I've just been imposing that strictly on myself for others. And that's what I miss. Otherwise, the rest of it is easy.
Well, solitude in the Bombay gym, you're a lucky man. An incident that happened with me, I'm not even a member, as a reciprocal member, because I grew up in Calcutta, went to La Martiniere for boys. And because we're members of the Saturday Club, I tried to use the Bombay gym on one occasion. And I met Brocha and Vijayakar in the foyer. And quietude and loneliness is what I wanted. You don't get that with Brocha. And Vijayakar is still okay. So those are threats in the Bombay gym, Rahul. Those are active threats.
Well, you need the yin and the yang. So that, so otherwise, can you imagine if everybody was like me at the Bombay gym? It would be like a mausoleum.
I'm very concerned, and so are you, about the United Nations has gone on record to say this, that domestic violence numbers have gone up during the lockdown. I mean, people are spending increasing amount of time at home, and what you're doing with the Akshara Center, I'd like you to just talk about that.
So you're dead right. Across the world, there has been a perverse spike in domestic violence in a time of calamity. But that happens all the time. This is one of the I suppose, almost permanent cruelties of human behavior, that whenever there has been a natural or a man-made calamity, I remember going to the Andamans during the tsunami in 2004, and there were reports of molestation of women that had been left destitute because overnight you lose your home and you lose your family. And even if she was a fierce, working, independent woman without any kind of infrastructure around her, which is human infrastructure or physical infrastructure, physical safety becomes a problem. And then it becomes an issue of, you're roaming the streets without a house and without people around you who care for you, because sadly they've passed away or been washed away by the tsunami in that case. And your prey. So it's what kind of human being would choose to attack a woman who is down and out at that point of time, shows you the infinite possibilities of human cruelty in this world. However, coming back to this particular instance, domestic violence has spiked. Men are locked down at home. So frustration levels rise. And I'm talking about across the world, not just here. The ones who used to beat are beating more often. The ones who never used to beat are now beginning to discover the pleasures of taking off their frustrations on the women of the house. There is no data as yet, Rishi. There are no numbers as yet. But definitely it is anecdotally on the rise. Women's mobile phones are being confiscated. Their batteries are being taken out of their mobile phones. The idea of a woman having time to step out, in any case, was an anathema to so many orthodox, patriarchy-bound men. So it's a perfect excuse for them to keep them further bound down. So Akshara recognized the problem, and they were collaborating with many other organizations. And they've also been working with the Special Services for Women and Children, which mans the helplines normally. And so they said, we would like very much to create a campaign that would highlight this. I said, look, right now the only option you have is an online campaign. They said, yeah, that's absolutely perfect. So they got together with their friends and my friends at Every Media. This is not a plug for them. They're a social media company. They worked with me and Purna. They're working with Akshara on this, as well as a few earlier projects with Akshara. And they came up with a script. And at that point, I said, okay, how can I contribute? So I spoke to Mr. Aditya Thackeray at the government of Maharashtra. And, he's bright, he's dynamic, and he really has, he understands. So he totally backed the campaign. Now that's what we needed, because we needed the government of Maharashtra to get behind the campaign and the Maharashtra police to get behind the campaign. So we could give across Maharashtra, we wouldn't give different numbers for Sangli, helpline numbers for Satara, or for any other place. We could just say, give them the 100 number, which is terrific, because it certainly makes it much more convenient for women in distress. So that was, I think, a little contribution I made. And then we worked with Mr. Aditya Thackeray and Priyanka Chaturvedi in government to actually work and see how this could be supported by the government of Maharashtra. The chief minister was behind it. He was the first person who tweeted the first film we made. Then it came down to making the films. And we had very, very clearly understood that this film would have to run in Marathi. And yes, in Hindi for a few people who didn't understand the local language. And in English, not for people who didn't understand Marathi or Hindi in this state, because there are very few who don't. But people, and there are people from the southern states who would not understand either language, fully understand and accept that. But also that this campaign could go online internationally. And online has no borders. So if somebody in Germany is facing this problem, a mayor of some city, and sees something coming out from the government of Maharashtra in India, it's an easily replicable idea that they could easily do. So that was one of the big thrusts of the English campaign. Second, the thing that I could contribute at was, okay, now who do we get on board? So we have 18 celebrities on board, a different bunch for Marathi, because there are people like Shreyas Talpade who have an audience, or like Sonali Kulkarni. And then, of course, there are some personalities who span all three languages, like Madhuri Dixit, who spoke in English and spoke in Marathi and spoke in Hindi for all three versions of the video. And of course, then you had the more high-octane personalities, Karan Johar, Farhan Akhtar, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Anushka Sharma. Just the point being that in 24 hours, Rishi, all of them had recorded the script of the video on their phones and sent it to us. Then I got into, so my contribution was with the government, with getting people on board to do this, and cutting the videos, making sure that so the social media team did a wonderful job, and I just worked a little bit to keep fine-tuning. From day one, when we started with the idea of should we do something, I would say day 14, we had finished the campaign and it was out. So we had to work pretty hard, especially towards the end, cutting logos, hashtags, all of that stuff. But today it has garnered about over 5.5, maybe close to 6 million views, which is not small if it's not a Hindi movie product. or if it's not a cricket product, it's a pretty large number. You would know that. And the calls have started coming in. Now, I think we are on day 7 of the campaign breaking. We will be in a position very soon, maybe in another week, to see the numbers coming in. And the numbers will can tell us two very different tales. If there are very few phone calls, you can say, there's no domestic violence. That's just, you guys have raised a unnecessary bogey. But it could also mean that women are not being able to call.
Yep.
And that's why there's such few numbers. So we're going to have to examine qualitatively the data also. But quantitatively is the first step. So I'm just trying to close the loop on this whole thing and make sure that it just doesn't become something that we did and we pat ourselves on the back, but something that should actually, anything that one does in the non-profits sector, if it doesn't reduce pain in this world, I think it's useless.
What drives you to do what you're doing? I mean, there are very few people in the public eye, yourself, Dia Mirza. You guys could just act, go home, make movies, exercise, have a good time, and go off to bed every night. But I see your work previously with the foundation, now with the Akshara Center. And even when one follows you in social media, and I do that across the board, one sees an appeal to donate to the Lawrence School of Sanar and their initiative and things like that. So it looks to me that wherever you can, you try and mobilize support for initiatives. Why so, Rahul?
On a very fundamental level, I can't brook seeing people in pain. I just can't. Something inside me breaks, I can't see it. It's just, selfishly, it makes me happy if I can do something about it. I do understand that I shouldn't be scattering myself in about 15 different directions, which I don't. I work with the foundation, which we work on equalizing opportunity through education of kids, that, and on child sexual abuse with the other NGO, which is called HEAL. But generally, if there is a migrant laborer whose 12-year-old child has died 10 kilometers from her home, it sounds very entitled, but her pain is felt by everyone. All of us have a conscience. I have to believe that. All of us have a conscience, and some more dead than others. But that pain transmits across the world. The concept which is in the Vedas, which Steinbeck talks about in Grapes of Wrath, about the world soul. I really do believe that. And I experience that. I'm not saying that I'm crippled and I'm felled every day. But, it is a instinctive response for me.
So how are you handling this particular phase? Do you go out and do runs for groceries and essentials once a week or twice a week? Or is it home delivered in the building downstairs and you go down and bring it up and sanitize? Talk to me about getting the essentials.
This is very funny. It's very funny because I'll tell you why. So you see, after rugby, grocery shopping is the most dangerous activity I've indulged in. Because I've never done it, right? So I have, of course now I don't, but I have somebody who cooks for me or somebody who comes and cleans. And so the groceries are done. So after about 3 or 4 weeks, and I don't cook, so I don't need, it's a surprise for me to see potatoes and onions in a drawer because I normally expect to see, clothes or, toys that are of dubious nature or something like that. But there I am, opening this drawer and I find onions. But so, I do admit that there are things that I know very well and there are some things I don't know at all. So it came for the time to do grocery shopping. So, okay, I looked and had a look at the washing machine powder and the dishwashing liquid. And, I wanted some shower gel and sanitizer, and stuff like that, toothpaste and stuff. So I made a list of about 10, 11 things. And we are in the most lockdown of lockdown areas in India. You know that. Mm. The red zone is Bombay. And the reddest of red zones in Bombay is Prabhadevi, Worli, Koliwara, which is G South. And that's where I live. Yeah. So we can't go anywhere. We've been told to give it to the watchman and then he will, go to the nearby grocery store and they will give us the stuff. So I said, fine. So I wrote it all down on a piece of paper. And in the body shower gel, I wrote shower gel. I knew it wouldn't be available because, it's times are scarce. So times of scarcity / I wrote Lux slash Synthol slash Pears slash Dove. Any 5-6 names that I could think of. And whatever you have out of this. So he goes. He comes back. And I'm going to send you this photograph which you can put on the show later on. And he comes back and he shows me the chit. And the grocer has, with a red pen, as if he's a teacher, has crossed out all the things not available. Toothpaste not available. This liquid not available. This dishwashing not available. This juice not available. And he puts a tick at shower gel. Only. Out of 11 items, shower gel is tick. But the watchman gives me a bag groaning with weight. And he says it costs 1,200 rupees. I'm like,
shower gel.
Maybe I'm totally disconnected from the world. Maybe this is the price of it nowadays. And I open the bag, and there are 18 bars of soap.
Mamma mia!
He has the slash. He
interpreted it as
ampersand. And he's been so compassionate. He's looked for buy 4 get 1 free. Synthol. Buy 4 get 1 free Lux. Buy 4 Dove get 2 loofahs free. So I have 18 soaps. That's all I have. I have nothing else. I have to brush my teeth with them. I have to wash the dishes with them. I have to cut them up and have them for dessert. I just have 18 soaps for 1,200 rupees sitting in my hand. So grocery shopping is very, very dangerous. I've begun to look at it. I have to prepare myself for what happens. Or maybe the grocer is one of those guys like you with a wicked sense of humor. He's like, इसने slash कहा है ना, सारा जो मेरा stock है, जो 2015 का stock है, पूरा उसको दे देता. 18 soaps, one guy.
So, do you have a domestic help who lives with you and cooks for you, or are you trying your hands at basic stuff? So, what are you doing for food?
Oh, I order in. I've been ordering in for the last 50 days. It's dropped to the head of the lane, and then the watchman comes, and gloves and wash hands and takeout and bartan and all that stuff. So I'm certainly well fed. Yes, I have nobody to help in the house. I've never had anyone permanently. I would never brook that. Even if I had a palatial mansion, I would just not like that. I like to have my privacy, but of course I don't. I have a house that people say is smaller than my car. And I have also given both my domestic help the next 6 months off, because I'm like, you should just you live in Worli Koliwara, so I don't want you to put yourself in danger, to put not just me but everybody else. So just let it go, relax, chill out. We'll talk about this when this thing sorts itself out. So I had this one post on Instagram where I made a roti. Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
So just like the bananas post, the idiocy of people on social media is to be marveled at. Because they thought the bananas post, I had a problem because it was 442
rupees for 2 bananas.
My problem was that if the banana is free in the room, see, if you have a cola drink in a 5-star hotel, it's going to cost you $600, whether it's in the restaurant or the room. But if the banana is free in the room, why is it charged 2 floors down in the gym? There are many other problems, but that's the problem. Apart from that, if you charge me for a fruit platter, give me the platter.
Yeah.
Give me the kiwi fruit and give me 2-3 pieces of tarboos and give me, pineapple and all that stuff, right? So anyway, similarly, the Thorat family, which is the mother's side, the Maratha side. So they have all this cooking and, we're going to be making this and this mutton and this missile and this and that. And I'm like, listen, why don't you guys, share your stuff with me? They're like, you don't cook. So there's this kind of a scorn that was happening. So it got under my skin. So I said, okay, I will make what you can't make. They're like, the thing that we can't make, a few of us, is roti. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not going to go to base camp or camp 1, camp 2, camp 3. I'm going straight for the summit. I know nothing. I'm going to wear my rubber chappals, my Hawaiian shirt, my Bermudas, and go to the summit. Straight. So that's when I made it. And I took no one's help. I found the atta. It took me about 2-3 days to find the atta. I found the atta. Water, I knew where it was. The whole proportion, kneading, working the tricep in, looking at the fingers, and scientifically making sure that it's level. And, and then the bailon, I didn't know what to call the base. So I'm calling up my domestic help. I'm asking her. So she's like, "Sir, are you starving? I can send you rotis." I'm like, "No, just relax. I have to do this. I have to do this. I've got my oxygen mask on. I have to do this. I'm going to do this." So that's when I did it. Now, as I told you, the idiocy of social media, he's starving. He's making his own rotis. People are sending me caterers' numbers. People are saying that my grandmother's great aunts, nieces, closest buddies, mechanics, fathers, daughters, school principals, grandmothers, illegitimate child is next to you. So and he can make rotis. I'm like, guys, please, it's not that. I was never doing it. So now my next plan is I am going to make a video of me stitching a mask, making a mask. So my first post was #roti. This will be #roti kapda.
Where's
and
the
next one, I'm going to put some fox nuts in the microwave, which become big. And I'm going to go #roti kapda makhana.
That sense of humor will keep it going for us during the lockdown. And I see the building staircase is being made very good use of. Speaking of climbing summits.
The residents are like just easy there because it takes me 2.5 hours here.
I'm sure.
205 floors, Rishi. It's a 6-floor building. Yeah. I have to go up 34 times. It's something else. It's another mad kind of meditation. But what do you do? I have resolved that I'm going to come out of this lockdown fitter than I was ever and demoralize everybody in Bombay. No, well, that's a joke. But my house is the size of a pocket handkerchief. I train on my yoga mat and I can do 80 to 85 exercises on it. But it's still not the same. You still need to, move your body. So it's a great exercise, but it requires fortitude and a little bit of madness.
So I know you're a voracious reader. You've been putting up some books that you've been reading. So just something to add to our reading list, books or writers that you've read very recently in this phase who have really influenced you.
I haven't read anybody's work that I don't like. But in terms of, there's some books that you like, Rishi, and there are some writers that you like.
Sure.
So, RJ Agassi is not a writer, right? But his book is wonderful.
Open is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would, if you ask me to recommend writers, I've just finished Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay. He's a Bengali writer. Never read him. I can't read Bengali. One of my father's everlasting regrets, before he passed away. I'm not saying that he whispered those words as he was passing away, but I'm just saying that, that it was one of his regrets. And I read the English translation of Pothir Panchali, which was more famous as the film that Ray made. What a beautiful book. What a beautiful book. So out of the Bengali, Shunil Gangopadhyay, I think, Vibhuti Bhushan, these are wonderful, wonderful writers. Of course, the gang of wonderful Indian writers that I love to read: Salman Rushdie, Amitabh Ghosh, Arundhati Roy. But out of the new stuff, let me think about this. The Mahabharata by Ramesh Menon, this one that I read, and I read that 10 years ago. It's in 2 volumes. I would recommend that blindly to anyone. It is thrilling. It is nuanced. It is so evocative. It is so relatable. It's written with such a sense of the human condition, the problems people face that sounds so contemporary. It's really, really a wonderful translation, a wonderful transliteration maybe, because there's also a lot of the writer that comes in. The parts that he decides not to keep in, he says, look, and then this happens, I'm fast forwarding to this. 2 volumes, Ramesh Menon's Mahabharata. I really, really enjoyed that. So looking at my bookshelf now, it was a kind of a trip down memory lane for me to go back and see a few of these things. What I do want to read from is Ruskin Bond, which I haven't done till now. But Ruskin is apart from being one of my favorite people, he's just a lovely, gentle writer. There's so much unsaid in Ruskin Bond's writing. Then I rediscovered Jhumpa Lahiri. Of course, read all her stuff, every word that she's written till now. But I was reading The Unaccustomed Earth, and I went back and read 2 more stories after I finished my reading. Because talking about leaving the unsaid hanging, that is a Jhumpa Lahiri. I mean, it's so beautiful to feel the weight of the interiority and the thoughts that people are thinking about. The father who's looking at his daughter and wondering where the years went by and why he doesn't know her better, stuff like that. Just so beautiful. My God, this sounds very Bengali skewed, but I don't mean it to be Amitabh Ghosh and Jhumpa and Bandyopadhyay.
But why not? There's such wonderful writers. It's just remarkable.
But on the international, there's always Murakami, there's always Marquez, and all of that. So out of the new stuff, I've been reading Ram Guha's India After Gandhi. I mean, Ram, of course, is always engaging and always a kindred soul. So that's wonderful.
OTT consumption has gone through the roof, obviously, and now one doesn't know what's going to happen, what the new normal is going to be. I mean, it's very easy for production people on a set, directors, assistants, cinematographers to wear their masks and get on set. But the actors have got to be in frame, and they can't possibly be wearing PPEs unless the role demands it. So these are trying times for the industry. Were you working on any OTT projects before the lockdown? What phase were they in those projects?
So I can't talk about that. I can tell you what I have worked on. I've done a series called Bahubali Before the Beginning with Netflix. And, that's an ongoing project. But, when it releases, it's entirely up to them. I have finished a film for the OTT platform for Netflix again, made by Clean Slate Films. That's Karnesh Sharma. Anushka and Karnesh Sharma had their banner, and Anvita Dutt has directed that. I'm really looking forward to that. So I actually had the busiest acting year in 2019 after Dil Dhadakne Do in 2014-15.
Oh.
So yeah. And because I made Purna in between, 15, 16, 17 went into Purna. 18, I was writing a new script. And then 19, I began to work. Towards the end of 18, I began to work. So I've been working for a year now, more than a year. It is, what should I say? It's like when TV happened after cinema. It's like, it's unleashed an amazing amount of energy. Of course, there will be a lot of mediocrity that will turn up first.
Sure.
And then slowly the sieving will start. The budgets will be more rationalized. People will be, more careful as to what's being written and things. Fine, fair enough. So I've said no to about 60, 70 OTT offers, Rishi. I've just tentatively accepted a new one, which will be very interesting. I haven't done anything like that in my life before. So that'll be a very, very interesting project. And I am also presently writing my next script. Whether it's for OTT or for the cinema screen, I don't even care till such time as it's actually done. So very exciting. I mean, I'm happy to be. My acting career could now run for the next 10, 15 years effortlessly if I let it. And so I'm happy to do that. But, and you haven't asked me this question, but I want to be perceived as a director who is also hopefully a decent actor. And so I want to make my next film nothing. For the next 18 months, Rishi, nobody, not even science, knows what's going to happen.
Yep. Till we get that vaccine out. Yeah.
So when you get a vaccine and Rishi has COVID, I'm vaccinated, right? So I'm going to get on to set. But if you're a producer and you want to start something right now and you're waiting for your zone, green zone, and you put up a set at Mehboob and you start shooting and you COVID-19 test everyone every week. Forget every month. Every week they're tested. And there are masks and gloves, disposable lunch boxes to be thrown away when consumed, disposable little packets of water to be thrown away when consumed. Everybody has their own mask. The actors carry their own makeup kits. Everybody's wearing gloves. I get it. You get it. But if somebody gets COVID on that set, everybody will have to be quarantined. So I've just spent 2 crores raising a set. And then you're telling me that I have to shut down for 3 weeks. What's the standing cost of my money? What about the set? What about the fact that maybe Mehboob is giving it to somebody else after this?
Yep.
It's such a risk. I mean, in the cold light of theory, nothing should happen for 18 months. In practice, it will be very different. Everybody will go back. Everybody will shoot. The momentum of living, of making yourself useful, of getting money, putting food on the table, of taking a risk, all of that will kick in. But God forbid it happens. And listen, I mean, it's 20,000 people per square kilometer in this city, Rishi.
Yeah.
So if you've covered 1,000 people in an area which is a slum, and there are 2 lakh people living in that slum, how long do you think it will take for that virus to go through the slum, or for everybody to get herd immunity, which I think is the real mirage? But if it happens, I mean, it'll take a year. It'll take a year and a half. By then you have a vaccine. So it's a very, theoretically, it is nothing makes sense. It doesn't, a scientist would say this doesn't make sense. That you're putting 60 people into contact with each other and hoping that nothing will happen for a month. On the flip side, Rishi, what I feel will really thrive right now is the online content with one person. So Rishikesh Kannan takes his recorder and says, I am going to record the reactions to COVID-19 from India. So he gets on to, like a sumo, drives across the country with one cameraman, one sound guy, one helper, 5 of you. Okay, COVID ho to we can lock down 5 of you. And my money 10 lakhs is locked down. Okay. So that's what he does. I'm in Karnataka, I'm in the Northeast, I'm here. Or for that matter, cookery, or for that matter, fashion. That stuff, lean, nimble, 5 or 6 people going out there, creating content, coming back, fine. Because the downside is very low. The rest of it, grim. I mean, everything will stop, make no mistake about it. But I think that scientifically, it's grim.
I'm going to sign off with an area of concern for me too. It should be for everybody, which is senior citizens. I mean, my dad's 76, my mom's 72. They retired from very flourishing careers in Bombay. And like all good South Indians, retired down south. They live in Whitefield in Bengaluru. And
I thought Matunga, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was actually a toss-up. Matunga, Chembur, but then... So, as a child, you can't reach them. You can't get on the next plane or the next train and go and reach them. And you're constantly worried about their well-being and their safety. Luckily, touch wood, they're doing fine. But there's so many senior citizens out there, whose children are in other cities, even abroad. And you feel very strongly about this. So let's sign off with that, please.
It's clear and present. This lockdown just took them by, it's like a punch in the belly, because they were just ill prepared for a world with physical distancing. And it is the cruel irony is that no one really wants to be around elderly people. I mean, come on, Rishi, put your hand on your heart and say that after 1 hour of listening to your father go on and on about the world in a stream of consciousness, rambling way, you don't get bored. Or you have your own work to do. It happened with me. Of course, both my parents have passed away, but okay, mom, okay, dad, move on. You know what I mean? So that, in any case, has been the case. But here, technology is what you and I are actually using to cover up all the vacuums left in our lives, correct? Whether it's a fitness video that you're looking at, whether it's yoga that you're doing virtually, whether it's food that you're ordering, all of that stuff, all essentials. So this is like a body blow because they don't know technology.
Yep.
And it's did you see that video about that old gentleman that the police came and gave a cake to? I think it was somewhere in North India and Haryana. Right. So they ring the bell of this bungalow, and this well-to-do man comes out with a mask, and he sees the police. Then he's trying to wave them off, and they say no, sir, and they begin to sing "Happy Birthday," and this man starts to cry, and he says, "It can't be for me." They said, "Yes, we know it's your birthday." He says, "How do you know?" He says, "Your children told us, like Rishi, his children are far away, and they said to the cops, could you go and give him this cake?"
Wow.
So he's breaking down, and they put a cap on a fun birthday cap on him and make him have a bite, and he just can't stop crying. That says it all, I mean, you just need to. It's so easy to see. If someone doesn't see it, they have hearts of stone.
100 hours, 100 stars shall continue. Just a small reminder again, there's a QR code on this screen and a link. You could either scan that QR code or click on the link and fill in your donation amount details and payment details and proceed to contribute to the PM Cares Fund. Rahul Bose, thanks for your time and see you soon. Virtual hugs to you.
Same here. Look after yourself. Lots of love.
Bye.
फिल्म पर से मैं हूँ रंगीली रुचि और आज यहाँ पर 100 Hours 100 Stars में हमारे साथ जुड़ गई हैं. I have a new name for you. I'm not going to call you Dhvani or DB. I'm going to call you the billionaire girl.
No, dude, there's no money.
Oh, it's law of attraction. We are attracting all the billions of rupees, whatever.
But I'm happy. I like it. I like the name.
एक चीज मैं अपने और ध्वनि दोनों की तरफ से बताना चाहूंगी to all the people who are watching us right now that there is a QR code on your screen. Also एक लिंक दिया हुआ है, so you can either scan the QR code या फिर आप लिंक को क्लिक कर सकते हैं. It will take you to the page जहाँ पे आप PM Cares Fund में कुछ contribution दे सकते हैं, कुछ donate कर सकते हैं. If that is something जो हम कर सकते हैं हमारी तरफ से, we should definitely do it. Also, this is a tribute to the COVID warriors. So हमारी तरफ से एक छोटी सी कोशिश है ये. We hope कि आप लोग हमारा साथ देंगे. Okay, Dhvani, what is your routine like? कैसे बदली है life after the lockdown?
Actually, I'm doing a lot of lives. That has changed because I feel like अगर मैं ये नहीं करूँगी तो मैं पागल हो जाऊँगी. मैं घर पर बैठ के I'll be like shit, dude. Life is ending. I'll cry every minute of the day because I can't stay at home. I have to constantly keep doing something. So I'm doing lives and I'm trying to focus on my singing and trying to get better and also like learning the piano better. And I tried to cook 2 days, but my mother was like, bro, bounce, you're just making a mess. So that was there. And then I play with my dog. What else do? I work out, but I don't know how. This is so weird. Like I work out, but I'm still gaining weight. Like, is that happening to you?
That's all. Can you not see? I've become an aloo. Look at my
I
cheeks.
feel like from everywhere, it's horrible. And I'm breaking out, which is the worst.
Oh my god. And I have no
पिंपल रोज पिंपल आ रहे हैं ना. Like, रोज तो घर पे बैठ के अच्छा काम से खाना खाते हैं तो पिंपल आते हैं.
But you were on a strict exercising regime. You had a routine. So are you being able to follow any of it now? कि अभी सिर्फ
my full cheeks and all, everything is out. I'm just like I'm eating fine. Matlab, I can't eat junk food because that's not vegan. So that is fine. So I feel like, but फिर भी वजन बढ़ रहा है. मेरे को समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है क्या हो रहा है. I've started to compare my pictures now. अभी एक photo. Exactly. I'm just like, bro, I have to stop doing that. It is so insane.
And you know, this is the time जब हम सबसे ज़्यादा selfie mode में फोन को रख करके videos ले रहे हैं, live shoots कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, and I'm just like, ये किधर से आया?
I know. It's such a reality check. Oh my god. Okay, we have to talk about something positive.
Yeah. Guys, don't worry. I feel like women are like that. They always worry about what they're looking like. I think it's an inherent quality. Like, you cannot change it.
मैं सोच रही थी जब इस सेशन के बारे में, तो मेरे दिमाग में आया कि आपका एक गाना ऐसा है जिसको कि अभी एंथम बना देना चाहिए फॉर कोरोना, कि लोगों को सेफ रहने के लिए इस गाने की सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है, और वो गाना है ना जा तू दूर.
Oh, dude, I didn't count my head. It's yeah, for sure. It's like ना जा तू दूर, घर से बाहर जाएगा तो कोरोना हो जाएगा.
बस.
You all should listen to that song. Yeah.
So I think we should start the session with this song. हो जाए.
All right. ना जा तू दूर अखियों से कि नहीं जाना कि टूट जाऊं मैं दिल से दूर, तू नहीं जाना, नहीं जाना। क्या है अब तेरे बाद मेरा जो मिल ना पाया, प्यार तेरा तू रहा न जो अब यार मेरा, हाँ प्यार मेरा। तुझे कदर नहीं एक बार मेरी जो मैंने की, हर बार तेरी रो के थक गई अखियां मेरी, मेरी हार न चाह। अभी लियो ने रूम में एंट्री मारी है। He just popped in.
The best part about these live sessions is
कभी भी कोई भी आ जाता है।
और कुकर की सीटी और घर के दरवाजे की घंटी जो कम बजनी चाहिए, because you're not supposed to be meeting people right now. But it's the best part. पीछे से मम्मी पता चला चिल्ला देती कि अरे खाना बन गया है, क्या हो रहा है तुम्हारा? Okay, so don't worry. अभी मेरे भी I have 2 cats, so they'll come running. वो भी दिखाई देंगे इस सेशन में।
You have 2 cats.
I do. I have 2 cats.
What's their name?
Maggie and Cookie.
Maggie and Cookie.
Being on weight ना, खाने के नाम पे बिल्लियों का भी नाम है।
कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं, सबका वजन बढ़ रहा है।
So have you been working on a song or something? Are you like composing something or recording?
No, we just released this one song called Jeetenge Hum today.
Yeah.
It released today and it's a patriotic song. It's doing pretty well. I'm happy.
तो अब जब आज ही ये गाना रिलीज हुआ है और देश के नाम है, पेट्रियोटिज्म है, a feeling that we all need right now. So 2 लाइनें हो जाएं इस गाने की.
Yeah, I wanted to play it, but then I can't because this phone is on the keys of the keyboard. But anyway, I'll just sing a cappella for you. सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। बड़े बड़ों ने जोर लगाया सारा, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जो देश कभी न हारा। बड़े बड़ों ने जोर लगाया सारा, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जो देश कभी न हारा। हाँ बोल मेरी आवाज में तू आवाज मिला के यारा, हाँ बोल मेरी आवाज में तू आवाज मिला के यारा। सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। It's a little
Perfect. That was so nice. एक चीज मैंने नोटिस की है, एक तरफ जहां आपके बॉलीवुड के गाने इतने फेमस होते आए हैं अभी तक, इतने शॉर्ट स्पैन में इतना सक्सेस बॉलीवुड में आपको मिला है एज अ प्लेबैक सिंगर, वहीं पर्सनली अगर मैं अपनी खुद की बात बताऊं, आई एम अ बिगर फैन ऑफ योर singles, of the albums.
That's what I want to do, so I'm on the right path.
And you know, this is very unpopular thing to happen in the industry. ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ ऐसा हो नहीं पाता है. So you are this one lucky person, or maybe I should say that you're working so hard on your singles.
Probably, you got that right, girl. I feel like so we put a lot of effort, of course, the whole team. I feel like people kind of connect with that, and इसी वजह से शायद चल रहा है. But
the best thing actually, आपके गानों के वीडियो भी बड़े engaging होते हैं. जैसा आपने कहा कि एक स्टोरी होती है उसमें, तो गाना सुन रहे हैं तो it might just feel like it's a romantic song, but only when you start watching the video you'll understand that perhaps there's a whole different story behind the song.
Exactly, and you always need like a visual to a song, I feel.
Yeah, and that's so 90s.
Yeah.
These videos in the 90s.
I mean, I feel like pop should come back. It is slowly with everyone's doing pop now, and I'm really happy that it's booming in India now. It'll get better, but I'm happy the start is beautiful.
So talking about another song of yours, अभी मैंने कुछ देर पहले बोला था कि ना जा तू दूर इज द सॉन्ग जो अभी लोगों को गाना चाहिए और जो एंथम बना देना चाहिए कोरोना के टाइम में. देयर इज दिस अनदर सॉन्ग जो हम सब लोग गाने वाले हैं हमारे लव्ड वंस के लिए जिनसे हम मिले नहीं है पिछले 1.5 महीने से. जब ये लॉकडाउन खुल जाएगा एंड सिचुएशन विल बी ऑल I had मुझसे दूर कहीं ना.
Oh, अच्छा ले जा.
But whichever you want to sing, I think.
No, I can sing Leja for you first, and then I can sing Master for you.
Oh, okay, let's do that.
मुझसे दूर कहीं ना जा, बस यही कहीं रह जा, मैं तेरी दीवानी रे, अफसोस तुझे है क्या, मुझसे दूर कहीं ना जा, बस यही कहीं रह जा, मैं तेरी दीवानी रे, अफसोस तुझे है क्या, तेरी मेरी कहानी नहीं बन गई, तू मेरा हो गया मैं तेरी हो गई, जहाँ जाए तो संग मुझे ले जा, ले जा, ले जा, ले जा, ले जा, ले जा रे, महकी रात में चुरा के सारे रंग ले जा, राते राते में भीगू साथ में तू ऐसे मुलाकात दे जा.
Wow, that was so nice. देखा मैं एक अलग स्टोरी बना रही हूँ आपके सारे गानों के पीछे इस सेशन में. तो अभी हम वास्ते गाएंगे हमारे जितने भी अभी व्यूअर्स एंड लिसनर्स हैं उनके लिए. बट बिफोर दैट everybody who's watching us, once again मैं रिपीट करना चाहूंगी, there's a QR code on the screen and there is a link. You can click on the link or scan the QR code. It will take you to a page जो PM Cares Fund का है. वहाँ पे अमाउंट डालिए and proceed का बटन दबाइए and you can contribute whatever little amount you can and it will be great. So
I just want to say please do it guys. It's very important.
ध्वनि ने कह दिया है तो आपको मानना ही पड़ेगा. So please do it. ध्वनि हम वास्ते गाने की तरफ पहुंचे उसके पहले I have a small little game for you, okay?
Done.
The game is this or that.
Oh, yeah.
Here's some options. First, Netflix या YouTube?
Netflix.
Yeah? I thought you
I don't know why. I'm like a fan of longer things. I feel like I like watching things for a long time, and movies and episodes. And I feel like YouTube has shorter versions of things.
YouTube and you.
I like YouTube for songs and everything, but for movies and all, I think.
Yeah. So what
I don't know.
watching on Netflix? Anything specific? Any recommendations?
Gilmore Girls. You have to watch it. It was my second time.
I have.
It is so insane. And
Money Heist? Did you see it?
Yeah. I saw all 4 parts.
Yeah. Bella Ciao.
Bella ciao, Bella ciao, Bella ciao, ciao, ciao. उसके आगे मुझे आता नहीं.
उसके गाना नहीं आता तो उनको बोलो वो ही गाओ गाओ गाओ.
Oh, Sai, you're good, bro.
Okay. Okay, next question. Exercising or chilling?
Chilling.
That's what's happening right now. I knew the answer. Okay, after the lockdown, big party या a small gathering?
Small gathering.
Of who all?
My friends. 3-4 ही है गिन के और ज्यादा है नहीं.
क्योंकि अभी इस समय में हम सब लोगों को एक नया हमारे अंदर का टैलेंट समझ में आ रहा है और वो है हम भी अपने घर पर काम कर सकते हैं और हमारे मेड्स को हम स्पेशल रिस्पेक्ट दे रहे हैं क्योंकि हम समझ पा रहे हैं कि वो कितनी मेहनत करते हैं. तो आपसे भी मैं यही पूछूंगी, लॉन्ड्री या डिशेस?
मैंने दोनों नहीं की.
देखा, मैं अभी बोलने ही वाली थी, knowing that you would be doing nothing. Lucky you, we are jealous of.
But I've done dishes once in my life. Once I've done dishes. So dishes.
But aren't you doing that? Everybody is doing that, no? Show off daily on Instagram, just like doing a little chore and putting a picture of it or a video of it. No, that show off doesn't work with you.
No, it doesn't. It's weird.
Okay, binge watching or binge reading?
Watching.
Okay. All day on video calls or all day on social media?
Neither. I feel like I like my space more. I
Oh.
can't do a video call all day. I zone out pretty fast. Like I think my attention span is of a goldfish.
Okay, last one. Pajama or jeans?
पजामा बट अभी जीन्स पहना है because
Hmm.
I like pajama. उसमें पता नहीं चलता तुम्हारा वजन कितना बड़ा है.
No, I'm saying, why are you wearing jeans for this session? You should have
Oh,
been
right
wearing
now.
shorts.
Because I felt like I should know किधर से क्या, how fat I've become.
Oh, for that
So I
realization.
get a little conscious and go work out a little.
Acha. Chalo, so with this, I think we should head to the next song, which is Vaste, जो हमने line up करके रखा था. So why don't we have like 2 lines of Vaste?
Yeah. वास्ते जा भी दूं, मैं गवाही ना भी दूं, किस्मतों का लिखा मोड़ दूं, बदले में मैं तेरे जो खुदा खुद भी दे, जन्नतें सच कहूँ छोड़ दूं, तुमसे ज्यादा मैं ना जानूं, तुमसे खुद को मैं पहचानूं, तुमको बस मैं अपना मानूं माहिया, वास्ते जा भी दूं, मैं गवाही मां भी दूं, किस्मतों का लिखा मोड़ दूं. My voice disappeared in the middle.
No, it was so nice, so beautiful. एक बात मुझे बताइए कि ये जब लॉकडाउन खत्म होगा, अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट वी आर मिसिंग हमारी नॉर्मल लाइफ में से, अभी ये जो चेंज आया है हमारी लाइफ में, सो बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस, इस लाइफ से क्या मिस करेंगे आप? लॉकडाउन लाइफ में से क्या मिस करेंगे? Nothing.
The fact that I can actually nothing, but actually that the fact that I could learn so much and do a lot of things on my own, maybe that.
Yeah. Are you trying to learn something new except for music?
Yeah, trying to learn to cook a little.
So what did you cook? Abhi sabse recent.
See, I told you, like I turned vegan, so I have to find out recipes and like figure my life around it. So I've tried cooking this. So I take one rice cake, like this tasteless rice ka thing, and on top of that I take like some avocado, and I make a guacamole, like an instant guacamole.
Yeah.
So I take avocado and then I put onion, tomato, and nibu half, and little salt, and usko mix karo and then put it on top of those rice cakes, and that becomes your breakfast. It's delicious, I'm telling you.
Oh wow! So you're doing all the chopping, cutting, and all of that also?
No,
Yeah.
That's
That's
not.
okay.
I don't know how to do it.
I was going to give you clap. Wow, that's cool. That's something new that you've learned. Anyway, but अभी भी hopefully ये lockdown जल्दी खत्म हो जाए, but नहीं तो there's
2 week और है ना, 2 week और है.
हाँ वही मैं बोल रही हूँ, there's still some time, so by the end of this perhaps you and I will learn how to chop vegetables.
Probably. Not in my case, but I wish you all the best, my friend.
I think, now we are realizing things that are really important in our life. Things that we never thought कि इनकी हमें जरूरत पड़ेगी, कि हमें भी दाल को कितनी सीटी देनी पड़ती है ये पता करना पड़ेगा. I never thought I would ever have to cook दाल.
कुछ 3 सीटी होती है.
मुझे नहीं पता, मैं अभी तक भी नहीं बना पाती. I cannot cook दाल.
Even I can't cook, but I've like जब भी मम्मी घर से बाहर जाती है, sometimes she's like सीटी कितनी हुई है देखो.
ओह, so ये याद है. हाँ, अभी memory of goldfish कहाँ गया? You remember 3 सीटी?
Not memory, attention span of a goldfish. मतलब
Okay.
after some seconds I'm like,
After some seconds, I forget that I have to switch off the gas. सीटी हो गई. Now that we are talking about the last thing you cooked, tell me which was the last thing you watched? Gilmore Girls को छोड़ के.
Last thing I watched. I wouldn't want. My Mrs. Serial Killer.
Oh yeah. Jacqueline Fernandez. Last thing you ate.
Last thing I ate. What did I eat? Chana and little rice.
Ooh, okay. Last thing you baked. I'm saying this because we've realized that this is this newfound thing that everybody is doing in this lockdown.
I didn't bake. I made homemade Nutella.
What?
Yeah. So I got pecan nuts.
Huh.
And I got jaggery powder.
Yeah.
You need dates. And you need what else you need? You need a mixie.
Okay.
So first you like जो डेट होता है उसका सीड निकालना होता है तो उसको पानी में रखना पड़ता है तब तक वो सॉफ्ट हो जाए वो तो आपको पता है प्रोसेस फिर उसको मिक्सी में डालना है और थोड़ा पानी डाल के एंड देन लाइक टर्न इट अराउंड एंड फिर उसका पेस्ट बन जाएगा एंड देन पुट पीकन नट्स उसको वो मिक्स हो जाएगा देन पुट योर जैगरी पाउडर एंड देन पुट सम डेट वाटर रेडी
क्या बात है
and it tastes like a brownie. Yeah, it tastes really good.
Outstanding. Wow. So ये
it's better than cutting and chopping, no?
Of course. ये रेसिपी आपने सीखी यहाँ पर 100 stars में ध्वनि भानुशाली से. Okay, which is the last thing you read?
I forgot the name of the book, yeah. But it was white in color.
A book which is white in color. That's what you read.
I forgot the name. I gave it to my sister now. But I put a story sometime back.
Okay, so to know that you have to go on to Dhwani's Instagram handle and check it out. Which is the last thing you listened to?
Last thing I listened yesterday I was listening to this Boyfriend song by Selena Gomez.
Alright. So with this, I think there are so many songs in Bollywood जो आपने गाए हैं, जो कि मुझे especially पसंद है.
Not so many. It's been only a year.
No, but still, you know, even Due Ho या फिर parts of it or whatever, but then you know you've already made a mark with Dilbar या Bekhayali का your version या Psycho. So any of this song which you like the best and you would want to sing for our viewers right now?
पहले तो नीली अखियां लड़ाई गई रातों की मेरी नींद उड़ाई गई मैं बीता नहीं मुझको पिलाई गई ऐसे मुझे घूर तू काय को वो झूठे वादे करके फलाई गई न जाने के तनों को रुलाई गई ओ ठुमकों से दिल को चुराई गई ऐसा तुझे लेके चलूं चाय को ओ सैया रे मैं तेरा सपैया रे जो पकड़ू कलैया छोड़ना लेके आजा तेरे भाई को आया मोरा सैया साइको
Superb. So before we end this session, मैं सबसे पहले आपको बोलना चाहूंगी कि मैं पहले recording stop करूंगी उसके बाद then I'll let you know that the recording has stopped. Only then we'll end the call. But before we end this session, as promised, आप हमें एक sneak peek अपने रूम का अभी दिखाइए कि आप कैसे.
It is really bad. I swear people will really like.
We want sneak peek. We want sneak peek. Dhwani's bedroom. This is a makeshift bedroom right now. But
this is not my bedroom, but I swear to God, this is my bedroom. I show you. Yeah. It's not my bedroom, but anyway.
But let's do a tour of the room that you're living in right now.
It's horrible.
Ooh.
Please, there are some pictures here. But this is the bed, which is really bad right now. And that's the bathroom. But I'll show you the house a little bit. So,
wow.
This is the hall.
Oh, wow. ये किस लोकेलिटी में हैं आप अभी मुंबई में?
Okay. अरे यार ये क्या होता रहता है? अच्छा हाँ. I am in Korea.
Oh great! So I'm in Malad. हम बाजू में ही हैं. So the moment मुझे permission मिलती है मैं आ रही हूँ. Because मुझे लग रहा है कि अगला अगर और 2 हफ्ता खिंच जाता है तो that's the house I want to live in.
We'll chill.
Thank you so much, Dhvani. This was a lot of fun, and I hope that I will be able to see you in person really soon.
Yeah, dude, I'm missing coming to the office.
I know.
It's been too long.
We'll join the gym together after this.
We should.
We
I'm
will.
so down.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.